All right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stream on my YouTube page. So if you want to watch it later, you can just go over. If you have my YouTube address, Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale, you can go over there and watch after now. Okay, it's giving the feedback. Okay, so let me reduce the
Hello,
volume.
boss. Hello, boss Rotimi.
Yes, sir.
Boss Rotimi, long time, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you, boss.
All right, so let's get started now. So, okay, I think we're going to be having this this feedback. Well, I'll sort it out. All right. So, like I said, we're looking at the fundamentals this afternoon, and I'm on Forex Factory. I believe you can see that on your screen. By 2:30 p.m., we have core retail sales from the United States. We have Empire State Manufacturing Index. Okay, I think the sound is giving a feedback, right? All right. So everything is perfect then. All right. So we're looking at the Forex Factory page now, core retail sales, and we're looking at Empire State Manufacturing Index, retail sales, unemployment claims, and Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. About 5 events happening simultaneously by 2:30 p.m. Now, a lot of volatility is expected in the market due to these events. A lot of volatility is expected, and without really wasting time, yes. Still having some feedback somewhere. I'm having a delay somewhere. Okay, so let me mute this one. All right. So I believe, sorry about all this mix-up. Just trying to test something so that we can make the videos always available to us. So people always ask, if we have the recorded version. Many times recording on our servers, it gets eventually it gets full and we have to start deleting. But if I have it on my YouTube page, YouTube is a endless server. You can always access it anytime. So that's what I'm trying to do. All right, so like I said, 2:30, we have all these 5 events happening on the dollar. Time will not permit me to go to each of them, but we'll be looking out for the colors. We have the previous, the forecast, and the actual. And we know the rule of thumb is that when the actual is greater than the forecast, we're looking at a bullish scenario. And when the actual is less than the forecast, we're looking at a bearish scenario. But then when it comes to unemployment claims, anything unemployment, usually the reverse is the case. If the actual is less than the forecast, that is what is good for the currency. So in order to make it easier, the best thing we can do is just focus on the colors that this data will carry. So if you see a green, a green all through means the dollar is expected to be bullish all through. When we have a green, it means the outcome is good for the dollar and we expect the dollar to be bullish. And when we have a scenario where it is red all through, it means the outcome is bad for the dollar, and the dollar is expected, to go bearish in that, situation. So a green all through is a buy, a red all through is a sell. But then there are also other possibilities. It's possible some of them will be green and some will be red. In such an instance, we expect what is called a spike. That is, a buying and selling will happen simultaneously if you have a situation where we have some to be green and some to be red. So those are the possibilities. And it's possible to have some green or red and some black. If it's a red and a green at the same time, will lead to a spike. So let's take note of this. I'll flip over now to this. So currently I'm on MetaTrader 4. And we'll look at the dollar to match our technical outlook with the expectation from the fundamental events. So if both of them align, then we'll expect a lot of volatility in the market in the direction that both is saying. That is if there's an alignment between the technical and the fundamental. Now, on the dollar index, I can see a bearish outlook. I can see a bearish outlook that is, there's a possibility, that price will break out downwards. That's just my personal forecast ahead of the news. And how did I arrive at this point? I'll delete all these lines I have now and show us how I came about this. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, I have a rising wedge on the dollar index. The dollar index is represented as USDX. So I have a rising wedge on the 4-hour. Now, normally a rising wedge is a bearish reversal pattern. So that's the first view that I have of a bearish expectation. If I go to the daily time frame, I can clearly see that price, what made the dollar index to have a bearish outlook at the moment, at least in the last 2 days, is because price hits a support turned resistance zone, which should lead to a bearish continuation. So that's the second confluence, second reason why I'm expecting a bearish outlook. Is the USDX tradable? Yes, sir, very tradable. But generally, we just use it as a guide. But if you want to trade it, nobody's stopping you, can trade it. And if I go a little higher to the weekly time frame, I can equally draw a trend line up there, which projects downwards to touch, different points on the daily time frame, which is telling us that price is trending downwards. So from the weekly time frame, we are seeing a downtrend. We are seeing the price is making a series of lower lows, and the rule trend line is that price is expected to bounce, in the direction. Currently, this is the third time price is touching this trend line. So since the direction is downwards, we generally expect a bearish, breakout in price. So from all technical angles, both from the weekly, the daily, and the 4-hour, I'm actually expecting a bearish, movement on the dollar index. So I have a bearish outlook on the dollar index. Now, does it mean that means 100%, the outcome of the news must be bearish? Not exactly. This is just a forecast. But then if price comes out bad for the dollar, then I actually expect a long-term movement of price in the bearish direction. However, if price turns out not to be in that direction, which is, if it turns out to be bullish, there's a possibility it's going to be a short-term bullish movement. So when we have trend can either be short-term, medium-term, or long-term. Now, generally, when we're trading, it's always good to trade in line with the long-term trend. So if the news comes out, my voice breaks sometimes, or it's just, maybe it's your end. Is any other person experiencing that? Is my voice breaking? Please, I need feedback. For those online,
it was on my end, but boss.
But currently, is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear. It's clear on my end. Totally. No.
All right.
I was almost
Thank you.
I was
Maybe
almost
that
sending
was
you a
a
message.
okay. That could be a network. Okay, I think it's a network issue. It's a network issue. This network I'm on, this modem is upstairs, so it's not really that strong. Sorry, it's a network issue. It's a network issue. I've identified it. So on a short term, price will actually go bullish and hit the resistance and the trend line and possibly still reverse downwards. So generally now in this scenario, I'm actually looking out for a bearish outlook. However, if the news comes out to favor the dollar, should you buy? Yes, you can, but please just make sure you are just picking some few pips and you are getting. But if it's bearish, we expect a sustained, bearish movement in the market. So on a long term, I'm actually bearish on the dollar ahead of the news by 2:30 p.m. So let's just watch out and see what happens. It's news time, so be careful. Okay, I can give them anyway, but just make sure you trade them only after the news, maybe from around 4 p.m. So for the news, if the news comes out not to favor the dollar, I'll be looking at selling USD USD CHF, or USD CAD. I'll repeat that again. If the news comes out not to favor the dollar, I'll be looking to sell USD USD CHF, or USD CAD. And we can quickly take a look at each of these instruments and see what is happening to them. Now, this is the USD Currently, it's forming a rising wedge on the 4-hour time frame. The rising wedge is a bearish reversal pattern, so it's already looking bearish in line with what we are seeing on the dollar index. So again, if the news does not favor the dollar, I'll be looking to sell USD And let's check USD CHF. Now, USD CHF, had a bullish breakout right from the beginning of the week. Yeah, we're experiencing some retracements yesterday and today. If the news does not favor the dollar again, I'll be looking at selling the USD CHF. But then I would say that USD is much more bearish.
Mr. Rotimi, you are muted. Your mic is muted.
All right. Sorry for that. Can you hear me now? I believe you should be able to hear me now.
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear
boss.
you.
Yes, boss.
All right.
Yeah, I hear
All right.
you.
All right. Sorry about that. So I just switched over to another network. So the previous network was not stable, but this one is more stable. So as I was saying, if the news does not favor the dollar, I'll be looking at selling USD and USD CAD. USD CHF is not looking that stable at the moment, And also, if the news favors the dollar, I could also buy both. But like I said, know that any buying is expected to be a short term because technically the dollar is actually looking bearish. Now, for gold is another instrument you can trade, in this news we're expecting. This is gold on the 4-hour time frame. Let's zoom down to the daily time frame. Let me just clean off and start this afresh. So this is gold on the daily time frame, and we can see we have a downward trend line here, and price hit the trend line, formed a rejection candle yesterday, and is looking, like price is breaking out in the bullish direction. So that's what we have on the daily, and I can flip down to 4-hour and even 1 hour. And on 1 hour and 4 hour, we are seeing it's actually an inverted and shoulder, though not a clear one, not the regular one, but that's just what it is. I think it's clearer on 4-hour compared to 1 hour. Let me go back to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, yeah, it's better off here now. So what we're seeing here is an inverse head and shoulder pattern on gold. Now, this is a bullish reversal pattern. So we have a downward trend and a bullish reversal pattern. We're expecting price to break out in the bullish direction. Again, if the news does not favor the dollar, you can either sell USD CAD or USD JPY, or otherwise you can buy gold if the news does not favor the dollar. Gold is looking bullish, but you can only buy gold if the news turns out as a red, not favoring the dollar. So if it doesn't favor the dollar, you can sell USD CAD, USD JPY, or buy gold. That's the technical projection. Now, what if the news favors the dollar? Can you sell gold? Well, gold is actually looking bullish. I would not encourage you to sell it. It's looking bullish. If the news favors the dollar, just buy USD JPY or USD CAD. Leave gold out of it. But if it does not favor the dollar, sell USD JPY, USD CAD, or buy gold. All right, so that'll be my analysis this afternoon. Do we have any question as we try to round up? Question, anyone? GU. Okay, like I said, I have some technical setup, but I don't want to mention them so that some of us will not be paying attention to them now, because you can't trade them until like an hour or two after the news has been released, because we need to respect the fact that we have a fundamental event. But I'll show you a few of them. Now, all these instruments I mentioned, the GU and the EU, they are going to respond to the news that is upcoming. So if the news favors the dollar, Euro USD is going to sell. If the news does not favor the dollar, Euro USD is going to buy. The same thing, GBP USD. If the news favors the dollar, GBP USD will sell. If the news does not favor the dollar, GBP USD is going to buy. So that's the analysis on those two. We can't say anything outside that for now. Somebody is asking about GBP CAD. But before I show you GBP CAD, I have some few set up. Like I'm looking at AUD JPY. So I have a bearish trend on this. You can see it on the screen. I'll be waiting for a breakout downwards to take a sell on this. It's bearish bias from the daily down to the 1 hour time frame. So you can take note of that. But please don't trade this until after the news. That's if price breaks out after the news, then you can trade it. Yes, for ease, we often emphasize the base currency. Now, I'm responding to Emmanuel Undubusi. Yes, we emphasize on the base currency because we have a lot of newbies. You can observe I didn't mention AUD, USD, GPS because in those instances, the dollar is a quote. Some people find it difficult, to trade it the other way around. So we just emphasize more on the base currency. Will you post the technical setup on the group chat later? Maybe, but please just make sure you can capture it now that I'm showing them. I've showed you, I think AUD JPY. I have a setup on CAD CHF. It's broken out already. It's actually a valid sell, but please don't enter now because of the news that is upcoming. After the news, if the market is clear, there's a sell trade on CAD CHF. Same thing on AUD CHF. This is a downtrend, and we actually also have a head and shoulder pattern. We should see AUD CHF go down further in the bearish direction. So I'm showing you AUD JPY, AUD CHF, CAD CHF, all bearish, and I think Euro JPY also. Please let's mute our devices as we join so that we don't distract the class. Euro JPY, yeah, Euro JPY is equally bearish. So those are the 4 instruments I'm looking at this afternoon. But like I said, please, for emphasis, only look more towards this after the news, not before or during the news. Let the news event, pass. Let's say around 3 p.m. If they all line up, then you can take a sell on them. They are all bearish. All right. So I'll attend to the person asking about GBP CAD, and we'll end the class there.
A quick one, sir.
Yes, sir.
The news today on GBP USD, or sorry, rather the news today on pound, it shows green. I don't know, but it was selling. I don't know whether I didn't take good note of it, but I saw a green. So I was thinking that pound will buy, but it sold, especially GBP USD.
All right, so I'm on Forex Factory now, and this is the news you're talking about. This is the news you're talking about. That's
yes, 8 a.m.
8 a.m. news. We have GDP, that's gross domestic product. Okay,
was
both of them. All right, so let's. Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said the actual was less than the forecast and less than the previous. I was minus 0.1%. So it was.
All right, just don't worry. It measures change in the total value of all goods and services produced by the economy. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. Okay. The prelim GDP quarterly, change in the inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. Actual greater than forecast is good for the economy. All right. Now, the forecast here is minus 0.2. Actual is minus 0.1. So it comes out in green. That means 0.1 is great. Minus 0.1 is actually greater than minus 0.2. So that is established. That's a bullish one. The second one, the actual is less than. Now, in this case, is the same GDP, though different variations of the GDP. One is bullish, the other is bearish. That will create what is called a spike. The market will buy and sell at the same time. But from what if I can get what you're saying clearly, you said it actually went more bearish than bullish. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So which currency pair specifically did you look at?
GBP USD.
Okay. So we're going to flip now to GBP USD, and we'll see what really happened. So you said it's sold instead of buying. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Why it was color green?
No, you're emphasizing the color green. You're not talking about the color red under it. Both events happen simultaneously. So it's a buy and sell. It's a buy and sell that happened. And technically, GBP USD is actually, it has been bearish in the last 3 days. You can see it here, sir. This is the zone. In the last 3 days, it has been bearish. And what led to that is because price, you can see the shadow here. You can see this shadow. We have a case of a support, pound resistance, and price. GBP USD has been technically bearish. So that the news came out and we had a bull and a bear simultaneously. but it's obvious that the bears were able to overcome the bull, pushing the price downwards. So that's what happened. The sentiment, the bearish sentiment was stronger. If the news had come out as a green, it might have gone bullish. But the moment it got weakened by a bull and a bear at the same time, the bearish sentiment took over and forced the price downwards. So that's why it's often good to always also check the technicals and not just say actual greater than forecast to buy and actual less than forecast to sell. Sometimes it doesn't always work 100% like that. It's good to have a second option of looking at what could happen. That's why we take the extra step to always check what the technical is also saying so that we can match the technical with the fundamentals. So I hope that answered the question, sir.
Yes, it does. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Sir, you also...
Hello?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
You also mentioned that if the news favors the dollar, that we should also sell Euro USD and GBP USD. But you didn't mention NZD USD and AUD USD. You will say something in relation to those two. I didn't really get that, sir. Please.
Okay. You should know my style. I practice a lot of risk management. So there's no point mentioning about 6 instruments. Some people will go ahead and trade all 6, and that will be over trading.
Okay.
So that's why I always limit. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Sorry, sir. I'm hearing you, sir. I'm hearing you, sir.
All right. So I always limit the instruments I analyze when it comes to news, minimum of maybe 2, maximum like 3 thereabouts, so that people don't end up over trading. And the emphasis is actually always more on the base currency, because that is easier for most people to understand. Yes, if the news favors the dollar, Euro USD will definitely sell. GBP USD will sell. AUD USD will sell. New Zealand USD will also sell. But the question is, do you want to trade all of them?
No.
Not exactly. You understand? Just pick like 1 or 2. So
and they are not base currencies too.
I didn't get you, man.
I say AUD and NZD, they are not also base currencies.
Yes, in that instance, the dollar is a quote. So if the dollar is buying, they will be selling.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
All right. So the person asking about GDP card, this is GDP card on the 4-hour time frame, and currently I'm not really seeing any direct trade setup on this instrument, except that price, is tending towards a support level. So if there's going to be any trade at all, I will advise you wait for price to hit the support. Then you can look for price, a bullish trade when it's going back up. So that's all I can say about GBP card for now. Price is approaching a support level, and there's a possibility of a reversal afterwards. Mr. Samuel, should we buy USD card and USD JPY if the news favor USD? Yes, but don't stay for long. That's a clause there. All right, so we're going to end the class here. Please trade safe, practice risk management, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, please, I just joined. Is there a recorded version for this webinar now?
Okay, it's analysis session. That's what I said earlier. You can head to my YouTube channel if you want to watch the recorded version. It's there.
Okay, sir.
Just go to YouTube and type Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale. You see it there.
Olawale, Learn Forex with Olawale. Okay, sir.
Learn Forex with Rotimi Olawale.
Okay, sir. Okay.